Well, hello there, Capricorn. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Today, we're going to be doing your April General Tarot reading. We'll take a look at the overall energies with the Oracle cards, and then we'll move to the Tarot for more details. So, and this is good for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So if the message doesn't resonate here with you, you may want to check out one of your other signs to see if there's a message there. All right, let's take a look at your overall energy. Stag Spirit, take the lead. And great adventure. Okay, so Capricorn, it's time to get in the boat and go. Whatever you have been wanting to do, whether, this is truly an adventure, perhaps traveling or going and visiting family or going and experiencing something that, you haven't been able to experience before. It's almost like, okay, it's time to get in the boat and go. And with Pluto moving out of your sign, right? It's almost this breath of fresh air saying, okay, there's nobody stopping you but yourself. It's about understanding that if you want to move forward, if there's a business you want to start, an adventure you want to go on, you want to start a relationship, you want to go after whatever your heart desires, it is time. You are the one that is in the lead. It's no longer an energy of allowing yourself to perhaps have some type of excuse or allowing yourself to stay stuck. It's kind of like understanding I do have options and it's time that I get in the boat and go. So for some of you, you may be wanting to change relationships. You may be wanting to move to a new city. You may be wanting to change careers. It's after a very long time of sitting in this energy of, Pluto in Capricorn. It was in your first house for 15 years. That is a long transit of really kind of getting to know yourself again. What is it that you truly value? What is it that your heart truly desires? And it's almost as if you may have a little bit of an epiphany here, understanding, getting the clarity. It's almost like your angels are coming in, your spirit guides are saying, you have the clarity. It's almost as if you have to give yourself permission, okay, to go on this adventure. For some reason, I feel like, you just haven't given yourself this cup of love. You haven't allowed yourself to experience fun. That's what it is. It's kind of like this energy of, and you really do, Capricorn, you're the hardest working zodiac. It's almost as if you have not allowed yourself to take a break, to take a vacation. Literally, it could be you haven't had a vacation in a long time, but it's also about recognizing that sometimes we need to allow ourselves to give ourselves a break, Yeah, it's just a really lovely energy of reminding you of what is really and truly important. And, I feel like you could have been toiling away, I should say, for some time. And it's kind of like understanding, okay, even if you go on vacation, when you come back, the work will still be there, right? But you could have convinced yourself, okay, if I don't go on a vacation, then I can catch up with the work. But now I feel like you're coming into this Aquarian energy of wanting to go and expand, of wanting to go and experience some new adventure, some fun, some delight. I think that's what it is. You want to have some fun in your life. So let's take a look at your present energy. Okay, so you have commitment and you have the Three of Pentacles. And then you have time for a nap, right? I feel like you have been really committed to working really hard. The Three of Pentacles is about working hard with others. It's about, getting the job done. It's, just that energy of wanting things to work out for you in a tangible way because it's Pentacles. And yet at the same time, you could feel exhausted. And it's kind of like, can I just sit down and take a nap? Right? It's the energy of, I just need a nap, Yeah. It's almost a little bit about asking yourself, well, what is it that you are finding in your work? Okay, besides just making money. You know, it's almost an understanding that I feel like with the Three of Pentacles, it's all based on money, but there's also a sense of understanding at the end of the day. What do I have? Maybe I have 3 more pentacles, okay? Hopefully more than that, but maybe you only have 3 more pentacles than you did the day before. You've been focusing on the pentacles and they've been coming in slow, like groups of 3, right? Instead of maybe groups of 10. Yeah, and you're understanding that you have, here's your energy, Capricorn. You're coming out in your own energy of understanding that you've put yourself into this mindset of feeling like work has to be hard and that it has to be this adventure of only work, of toiling. The Nine of Wands is, that wounded warrior energy. It's kind of like I have to work myself to the bone, literally to the bone. And yet at the same time, there is this energy of it's not creating the life that you are wanting to experience. It's almost kind of understanding that you have allowed yourself. Look at this. We have the Hermit and the High Priestess. But in the middle, we have the Seven of Swords. That you may have absolutely been so caught up in the 3D, how much money you're creating or being able to save or the tangible things, the everyday tangible things, that what you have done is sabotaged yourself from the spiritual experience that you have really and truly wanted to have. It's that understanding that you have allowed the 3D to kind of consume your energy. And this adventure is really going into the 5D of understanding, okay, wait a minute, there's this whole other world that exists that I haven't really and truly allowed myself to enter. You could have a little bit, you could have played with your spirituality, you could have played with, meditation or yoga or, adventures, and yet at the same time you haven't allowed yourself to really put yourself, like, make it a top priority, because every time you made it a top priority you felt like you were taking money, energy away from your 3D life. Really kind of interesting, because when you think about it, a lot of people do struggle with having a spirituality in their life and still understanding we have bills to pay, right? I mean, it's just the reality. It's about bringing that into balance. Yeah, because your obstacle is all of this work is preventing you, okay, is actually making you feel less worthy than what you truly are, your higher self. It's understanding that you have been working really hard. There's something that you wanted out of this Three of Pentacles, almost a sense of finding your own value, okay, because you have the Five of Swords here and the orphaned energy, almost like finding your value in your work. But what you're understanding, it's almost kind of like you're understanding that the harder you work, the less valued you feel. And it's about stepping into another energy. Yeah. Understanding. I feel like for some of you, especially if you work for a corporation or a company or for somebody else, right, that all of that work has really gone to help make somebody else perhaps wealthy. Meanwhile, the Emperor is sitting there having a pile of money and you only have 3 pentacles. And it's kind of like you allowed yourself to feel, it's almost like you allowed yourself to step into the delusion that if you helped the Emperor would help you. And now what you're understanding is the Emperor maybe doesn't really care about you. Whoever the Emperor is, that could be the organization you work for, or, the career, it could be your government, it could be, whoever you have kind of like stepped into really working for. And you've been doing a really good job. You've been working yourself to the bone, thinking the Emperor would help you out too, would share some of the wealth, or would value the work that you were doing. And now what you're understanding is, no, Meanwhile, you haven't had any fun, right? Meanwhile, you haven't even perhaps felt like you are worthy enough. It's kind of interesting because sometimes when we put ourselves into a position where we're trying harder and harder to please somebody, to have them understand our value, the harder we try, okay, the more toxic the situation becomes, until we recognize we have to pull our energy back, that we find that value in ourselves when we respect and love ourselves enough to say, no more. I'm setting healthy boundaries. It doesn't mean you have to quit this job, although some of you may be thinking about it. It doesn't mean that you have to move, but some of you may be thinking about it. It definitely does mean that you have to have some healthy boundaries. It's about taking back your power, because whoever this emperor is, whether it's your boss or the organization, they have the power at this time. And it's time for you to flip that switch, to take the lead, to say, this is my life. This is my adventure. And I'm going to start stepping into the energy of really almost like standing up for yourself in this. Because then this is what happens. You become the emperor. So the emperor doesn't have to have a lot of money. You could come into a lot of money, but what you're doing is you're flipping somebody else, okay? Your boss or the organization you're working for, your government, somebody else has taken your power. And what you're doing is actually stepping into an energy of taking back your own power. I think for some of you, if you're relating to this, right? You kept thinking the emperor would take care of you if you provided for the emperor. You worked hard for the emperor will take care of me. But now what you're understanding is you have gained a lot of experience. You can walk away from the emperor. You don't have to have the emperor. You can become your own emperor. You've been playing it too safe. This is your advice. The advice is you've been playing it too safe. Allowing the emperor, feeling like the emperor could take care of you. The emperor could actually be, like a father figure. It could be any type of organization where you felt like that person or that organization would take care of you. For some of you, it could be a spouse, right? And trying to keep the spouse happy because you felt financially secure if the spouse was still in your life. But now what you're understanding is that by allowing either that person or that situation or that organization or your boss to kind of have the power, you didn't have any power and you weren't really safe. That person or that organization could leave you at any moment. They could lay you off or they could walk away. And now it's this energy of, I want to create that stability for myself. Yeah, understanding. I feel like for some of you, you're really having the strength and the courage to understand how you have been holding yourself back, feeling like the emperor would take care of you, but now you're understanding, okay, I'll be the page of pentacles. I'll start at the bottom and I'll create my own empire. So for some of you, you could be thinking about creating your own business. Go listening to your own heart, understanding that you have a lot of value in what it is that you have learned with that hermit energy. Understanding that part of your path is stepping into your own power, taking the lead, sharing your wisdom and your light with others, your healing capacities. Wow, beautiful energy. All right, so Capricorn, I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. So let's see what your soul truth card is. What else could this mean? There are always multiple ways to look at every situation. Our first reaction is usually rooted in our fears and limiting beliefs. Look at a situation today by stepping outside of the trigger and ask, what else could this mean? Is there something your soul is calling you to learn in this moment? Or is there a pattern that is ready to be broken? Walk in the other person's shoes and see it from their perspective. If it doesn't involve someone else, ask yourself, how is life happening for me right now? And I feel like, this emperor could be a pattern of people in your life. It could be your parents, and a person that you married. It could be your boss. It could have played out in a lot of different ways. Picking and choosing, okay, who you are having in your life in those situations in order to stay safe, and now understanding that really and truly didn't keep me safe. In the end, my power was in the hands of somebody else, and now taking back your power. You've been working on manifesting this, and I think with Pluto in Aquarius, okay, you are really kind of like, okay, I'm ready to fly. I'm ready to spread my wings. I'm ready to take the lead in my own life and no longer stay in situations that may be what I consider safe, okay, but are they really safe, right? Asking yourself, what else could this mean? Is this situation really safe, or am I trying to convince myself that it is safe? All right, I'm going to leave it there, Capricorn. I really do appreciate all of your support through liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.